Hey, minimum effort here. Hope you're all doing well. Before we get to the deck guide video, just a reminder to anyone who hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, if you could please click down below. Just trying to get this channel seen by as many people as possible, and the more followers we have, the more eyes it gets put in front of on YouTube. So yeah, would really appreciate it if you could give us a subscribe. Yeah, let's get to the deck. So this week's newest card is Ezekiel Sims. He is a 2-cost, 2-power card with the text, after you play a card with higher power here, give this +2 power and move this to another location. So in this first week, we've seen him in kind of Silk decks with Hydra Stomper, or Surta decks where you're playing big power cards. And from what I've seen, the general consensus is that he's okay. He's not a great card. He seems to be the 12th card in most of those decks, and surprisingly enough, he is the 12th card in this deck as well. So I think if you are looking to get Ezekiel Sims, my advice would be to save your tokens. But yeah, like I've said, we've managed to get an 80% win rate with this deck from 10 games. Not because of Ezekiel Sims, it's because we're playing a very specific type of deck, and it's particularly for the kind of the meta that we're playing at the moment. So because we need to play a lot of tech cards to deal with all the different types of deck that are very strong at the moment, but these tech cards have good power, then possibly you can still get Ezekiel Sims up to good power by playing those tech cards on him where you need to. But yeah, Ezekiel Sims is very cuttable from this list. But yeah, what we're trying to do is ramp with Electro and Lunar Snow into our big tech cards that we can play as early as we need to shut down what your opponent's doing, but then also having that ramp to say, okay, we've got big power cards that we can play on turns 5 and 6. So yeah, let's kind of run through the deck and see what we've got. So Hydra Bob is here because he's a 1/4, has the opportunity to obviously snap into locations that you might need him to move into, and because you're looking to win 2 lanes and go tall in those 2 lanes rather than wide across the board, if you've played Bob and then locations and cards dictate that you need to snap Bob into another lane to help, that's a really good option for you. But also Bob is here because we're playing Galactus first steps, and if you can play Hydra Bob on turn 1, unless they play Black Cat or something more than that in the same lane, you're going to straight away get a boost on the Galactus first steps. So yeah, I like Bob in this deck, and obviously any turn you've got 1 extra energy and you can play a card, Hydra Bob's a pretty good card to have. Ezekiel Sims is in this deck, he's fine. And then we're looking for, okay, tech cards. Mercury, so if you play Ezekiel Sims on turn 2 and your opponent is on turns 1 and 2, they've started playing Aranya, Madam Web, obviously you know they're going to be playing move stuff, so you can play Mercury on top of Ezekiel Sims if you need to, or play it straight into the Madam Web lane and try to stop them from moving their cards around. So Mercury is very good tech to have for this meta at the moment. Electro, because obviously Electro again, big power on Ezekiel Sims, but also getting that extra energy. We don't technically mind being able to only play 1 card a turn, because obviously we've got specific tech cards that we want to play. We're looking to get loads and loads of cards on the board, so even if you keep Electro on the board, that's not that bad. We have got Blink in the deck to blink Electro out. We'll get to that a bit later. Lunar Snow again for extra energy. But yeah, obviously it gives your opponent that extra energy as well, but a 3/6 is good power. And yeah, like I say, if we're trying to go tall in 2 lanes, 3/6 is very, very good power. So yeah, like Lunar Snow in this deck. Gladiator again, a 3/8, fantastic, and particularly with a meta at the moment where there's a lot of kind of combo decks where there is smaller cost and power cards, that actually Gladiator, if you can snipe one of those cards, like a Silver Surfer or something like that, that's really good. And there's a lot of decks that have these kind of synergies that they're looking to hit. Gladiator is actually very good because 8 power is very big, and a lot of these combo cards have that kind of lower power. So lots of good targets for Gladiator. Cosmic Ghost Rider, because obviously, yes, it's a great tech card, being able to shut down any obvious targets that your opponent might have with Cosmic Ghost Rider is very good. You can also combo with Lunar Snow, where you play Lunar Snow on turn 3, and then the next turn you can play Cosmic Ghost Rider into that lane where you've played Lunar Snow, because it will then, hopefully, if they haven't played any other cards, to stop that stone being, the ice cube being at the front of the front row, then you can shut that down straight away with Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then turn off your opponent getting that extra energy for the final 2 turns. But yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider generally will have something very good to target, so yeah, very good card. And then Legion. Legion is in here specifically for the Storm War Machine Legion combo. We're trying to counter that with Legion, and the way we can do that is obviously with the cards that we've got in this deck, we've got a really good chance of having priority. So if you see that your opponent's played Storm on turn 3, and then you know it's going to be War Machine on turn 4, likely in the same lane, you can start positioning your cards in the other lanes on turn 4, and then turn 5, where you have that priority, you play Legion, because you play Legion into obviously not the Storm lane. You will change that location to the new location that Legion will generate. So then when they play their Legion onto what was the Storm lane, it won't be the Storm lane anymore. So we will still be able to play our cards on turn 6, and hopefully because we've got that power on the board already, we've got a really good chance of winning that game. So yeah, I like Legion particularly for that, and also any other good locations that come up. If your opponent plays Magic, you want to turn it off, Legion's obviously great for that as well. So yeah, very useful card in this meta. Then Blink. Obviously Blink goes with Electro. What you do have to be a little bit careful of is if you're playing against a deck that has a specific type of gameplay that you want to counteract. Let's say you're playing against Ongoing. Your opponent's put down Ravona, and you know they're going to try and build into Moonstone, Onslaught, all that stuff, and you have Enchantress in your deck. It might be risky to blink out the Electro if it's not in a lane that hasn't got any good targets, or if you just think, okay, I want to save that Enchantress to play it where they've played some certain cards already in a different lane to Electro. So yeah, you have to be a little bit careful, but then generally you're going to get a good target from Electro into Blink. You've got these good power cards anyway, that's very good. So yeah, you can still run this combo. Obviously, hopefully the targets would be Red Hulk and Galactus First Steps to get them on the board as well. And then Enchantress, there's a lot of ongoing stuff at the moment. Move, obviously running Madame Web and Hydra Stomper, the general kind of ongoing stuff. Surfer with Sarah, there's a lot of targets for Enchantress. Morbius as well in discard. So yeah, Enchantress has some very good targets, and obviously if they've played these cards early, getting to Enchantress early to shut them down is very, very useful. So yeah, really like Enchantress here. And then yeah, we've got Red Hulk as a finisher, and Galactus First Steps. They pretty much play the same role, where if you can get your cards down early on the board, you're going to buff Galactus First Steps as much as possible. And then if your opponent doesn't spend that energy, it's going to go to Red Hulk and make him bigger as well. So if you can get that energy ramp early, then it means turn 5 you could potentially play Red Hulk, and turn 6 you can then play Galactus First Steps, and that's generally a lot of power. You can generally go above 20 power in 2 lanes. We're looking to go tall rather than wide, so yeah, definitely focus your power where you can and try to play one or both of these cards to win that game. So yeah, this deck's been good. Like, we've had a lot of retreats from it because getting that early tech out, shutting down what your opponent wants to do, they're not going to stay. They're not going to stay and play the rest of the games, but it's got a good win rate, and I think if we can optimise this a little bit, like Ezekiel Sims can come out for Iron Patriot, Mercury can come out, I think, for Shadow King if you need it, if you need that extra bit of tech, or a Shang-Chi maybe as well. But yeah, obviously where we've got these specific big cost tech cards, this is kind of what we're locked onto with this meta. But yeah, good deck to win with, as you'll see from these gameplay highlights. There's a few retreats in here, but that's just the nature of the game, is the nature of having these tech cards that you can play early and shut stuff down. So yeah, let me know how you get on with this deck if you play it. I think there's a few changes, like I said, that can make this even better. So yeah, this could be a deck that I play with more to help climb. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy these gameplay highlights, and good luck. Cheers. Okay, so Hydra Bob, Lunar Snow, and Red Hulk in hand. Kiln is interesting. Let's play Bob in there. Yes, we can snap Bob out if we need to. If we can get a decently ramped card into there. There is a Legion as well, potentially. Legion makes things a little bit trickier. Although, Ezekiel Sims into Lunar Snow. So it depends what they're putting down, but we could Legion next turn, and we could Legion Kiln. That could be interesting. What are they playing? Spider Punk, so that moving is not going to be good for us. It's Cable. Is Spider Punk their card? No, it's an Arisham card. Of course it is. Oh, of course it is. So yeah, Legion now is probably not the best idea, unfortunately. So what we're going to do instead, because we have a lot of big cards, they're probably going to get they're going to feel this though to get their extra energy anyway. And we could potentially be making it much cheaper. I think we have to do it though. We have to do this. They didn't feel it, so we have stopped them getting the +3 max energy. It's Electro into Enchantress. Okay. Right. What can we do with our power? So, Blink on Legion is going to turn that into Galactus First Steps. Don't mind that. We could also Ghost Rider. It depends if they move the Spider Punk or not. But I quite like this play. If they do move the Spider Punk, we at least hit the Ice Cube, which won't destroy then. So that's potentially interesting. Let's do this. I'm going to save the Enchantress because we have the energy to do stuff next turn if we need it. Galactus First Steps. Hope Summers. Airson. Eson. Right, so they can still move Spider Punk. Can play all these cards as well. Because it's Arisham, he's going to put a card here regardless, so I think we need to try and win these lanes. So I think it's this. Let's see if this can be enough. Field, of course they have. It's a dangerous play against an Arisham deck. Let's see.
Enchantress.
So 33 left. Ezekiel Sims went to the right as well, so they have taken out Galactus First Steps. Blob, we need to be tiny. Iron Fist, which ties. No, it doesn't. We win with Red Hulk. So yes, that was very risky. Obviously, giving them cards cost 1 less with Elysium when they are an Arisham deck, but we had enough to win. The Blob only went to 18 in the end. They had an Iron Fist that drops as well, but with the extra, we still would have won the tiebreak because we're ahead here, but also with the extra energy saved from Elysium, we were likely to get the Red Hulk boost because of the cards being so cheap that they would have had energy left over in their hand anyway. So yeah, and it's always nice to be an Arisham deck. Sorry guys. Okay, cool. So we start with Legion, Red Hulk and Electro. So obviously there is a Limbo on the board. What this means is that we can turn that off with Legion. We do have Throne Room as well for our big cards, that's fine. So we can go Ezekiel Sims into Electro. I don't think we mind that at all. Morbius can certainly be hit by Cosmic Ghost Rider or Enchantress. So yeah, Electro now. And that means, obviously depends what tech we have, but also depends what they put down. If they put down like a bullseye or something like that, we can also hit that with Cosmic Ghost Rider as well. So Zeke goes right. It's Corvus Glaive. So they're discarding Blade and Scorn. So I think we're pretty good to go straight into Cosmic Ghost Rider on Morbius. Because we've got our Hulk and Galactus picking up power already, I'm pretty happy to do this now. We could even play the Legion on turn 6, but it means we have to kind of guarantee that we're going to win. Oh man, I'm going to win those lanes. We can still do that. What we're going to do, I mean, are we better off just playing our power into these lanes? This could be Khonshu, this could be Hela. Shut down the Morbius, so Dracula, they're going to have to get a power in other ways, but we can only play one, obviously one card per turn. Let's try it. Yeah, it didn't work. Because yeah, we can't. No, it's Khonshu, so yeah, we can't. They're going to do something to discard now, but they're probably going to do that in this lane, right? So what we need to do is play our Red Hulk now. We need to try and go above them, and we hope that this Dracula isn't going to be big enough. I mean, they can play a 12 power Khonshu here. Tempted by the Legion still, but yeah, Khonshu obviously doesn't give us much chance to do that. So it is a Blade, which approximates, of course, got left. So Red Hulk goes to 32, and we're up 31 in the left lane. Anything in the discard pile? No, they haven't. What could they be trying to drop? I'm not sure. We can still only play one card. Our biggest power card is Blink. Obviously, we don't want to play a Blink for no reason. We have Enchantress we can play as well. Can they go above us in this lane? Surely not. Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, they only had two cards in hand as well, which one would have been the Scorn, which they discarded, and obviously whatever else they drew. But yeah, just too much power, even with a discard there. With Khonshu, with Dracula, Proxima Midnight getting on the board, shutting down the Morbius, obviously very good with Cosmic Ghost Rider. But yeah, too much power, very good. Okay, we're playing Lightweight, baby. Sure. Okay, Expansion's going to give us a card, that's fine. Nico, is this destroy? Could well we destroy. Or Victoria hand stuff with demons. Nexus, potentially very interesting if we can ramp into our power cards. Bifrost as well. Okay. Hopefully a nice big card from Expansion would be lovely. That would then move into the Nexus. Let's see what they get. It's Frigga. We're going to get a Demon and Nico in the Nexus already. So that's two cards. And the third card actually, which is Forge. I mean, he gets Zombie Captain Marvel. I mean, I don't feel bad about this because we've got some power. I don't really want to turn Nexus off. I do want more power in that lane. So I think we just play Enchantress. So the next turns we've got Red Hulk, we've got Galactus first steps that we can play into there. What card's this? Misery. They've cleared a bit of space for Nexus now as well. And that's turned into a demon, so that's slightly less power. They've still got 2 demons there, obviously. Whatever else I've pulled. We're still getting these buffs as well from Bifrost. So yeah, I'm going to drop the Red Hulk down just in case they do have Shang-Chi. Moonstone left. Into Mockingbird. So yeah, it's just Galactus and Bob. Let's see if that's enough. I'm not sure what else they're going to have from Misery cards and the other things that they've done. It's Patriot and Moonstone. Yeah, fine. Yeah, even with the extra buffs on the demons, I see what they were doing. Getting 2 demons, big demons here with a Mockingbird. Trying to make them as big as possible with double Moonstone and Patriots. But yeah, too much power specifically for a Nexus lane to appear. So yeah, very good. Okay, cool. We're playing against Mixtape Thief. And we've got Hydra Bob, Galactus vs. Red Hulk, and Electro. Hydra Bob, let's just drop him right. Like, just drop in Hydra Bob blind because he'll just like guaranteed power for Galactus first steps. New York is interesting as well. So yeah, we have Electro. We can do Electro Enchantress. That is certainly something we can do. Zola has been discarded. Galactus first steps has been discarded. I mean, it's not terrible because we obviously have Red Hulk as well. So yeah, Electro. Zabu. I do kind of want to hold Blink Perfect, I should say, save the Enchantress. Because this could be anything still. Blink out the Electro, which is going to be... He's going to be Cosmic Ghost Rider or Legion. So, it was Legion, and now we've got New York everywhere. So cards can be moved regardless. Interesting. If the player hacking Torres or something like that, we have the potential to drop Enchantress then. Just going to Red Hulk, just see what happens. It's Wong. Now, obviously they can move stuff. This is going to be the problem. They're going to move the Wong. So we have the Enchantress. That would be a decent hit. There's more space here. We're very big here. There's no guarantee they're going to do it. If I was them, I would move the Wong here to have more space to do stuff. Is this guaranteed to work? Absolutely not. But with Ezekiel Sims, we're going to hit the Wong. Ezekiel Sims will also move out of that lane. Could move mid, that's fine. I'm going to move the Bob over here just for some extra power as well. They did move the Wong. Ezekiel Sims, Enchantress, fantastic. Sims go mid. He goes mid. Okay, so Stormbreaker is going to make Peter O'Bill very big, and Odin's going to do the same. But they still didn't have enough power with the rest that they had. So yeah, cool. We called the Wong move, that was the main thing. But even without that, we had to make sure we had that power to win that second lane. But with ramp decks, this is the good thing, you can get big power cards on the board early. So yeah, that's a nice win. Of course, we have Ezekiel Sims, Galactus first steps, Electro. and Mercury. So let's see what our opponents are playing. They could be playing Move, because of course they have the Ghost Spider avatar. Dark Dimension makes things a little bit interesting for Move as well. We can play Ezekiel Sims into Camartage followed by Electro. That is going to give us a lot of energy. We have a few tech cards available for us as well. I'm going to get some doubled. We can Electro. We can, of course, Electro Blink. What are they playing? If Sims goes mid, obviously we can't reveal any cards on him until the final turn, until the game ends. They've played their own Electro, okay. So, Ezekiel Sims is also our Galactus First Steps lane. So the choices for Ezekiel Sims, oh no, sorry, not for Ezekiel Sims, for Electro are Legion and Red Hulk. Don't necessarily mind that, so let's do that. It's the Legion, okay. This might be interesting for Camartage then, because we do not have a lot of on reveal stuff. Okay. This could be Galactus. So what we are of course going to do is Cosmic Ghost Rider, the Simgo Spider-Man. Whatever it is, yeah, because it's like, could be Black Panther, could be that. So yeah, we absolutely shut that down. It's Man Spider, brilliant. What is it though? Because it's going to do 16 power on that. Yeah, regardless, so that didn't really have the effects that we wanted. Can they... So it's going to be Taskmaster, or it's going to be Electrocuted. I was going to say they want to do Taskmaster or Zola. They might not have had something else to play with the Zola. So yeah, but yeah, managed to get the win from that one as well. Cool.